All right, let's talk about Bo Nix continuing to look good here. 3 straight wins for the Broncos. The whole team is looking great. Listen, maybe at some point I'll make a film study on their defense. But for now, let's talk about the young quarterback making some nice plays here for Denver. Let's just get into it. Before I do, I will mention that I do have a movie channel. If you like watching movies, I have some film reviews, even some, a bit of Joker 2 review on there. If that seems like your kind of thing, check that out. The link is in the description. Jackson Kruger Movies is the channel name. But yeah, let's get into Bo Nix. Starting off with a play like this, you're not going to see a ton of, the most, crazy concepts you've ever seen. A lot of what Sean Payton likes to do is just stuff like this. Have a receiver run a deep shot, clear the corner out, have another receiver run where the corner now isn't, right? It's simple stuff, but it's effective. Nix is going to take the snap. He does a good job of looking over the middle, eventually looks over and actually has to navigate some pressure. So he's throwing a bit off balance here, but he does have a receiver who's open, and that's kind of what's been working, right? It's Sean Payton, who's been so good over his career at it doesn't matter who the receivers are, still scheming guys up, getting guys open, and from Bo Nix, having to throw a bit off balance. However, he is still able to make this throw. The flags were on the defense, able to pick up a nice completion there for the Broncos. Again, a lot of this stuff is really what you like to see if you're a Denver fan. Really, the mobility for Bo Nix has been very impressive. And sometimes these things go together, where the kind of simplistic play calling, so to speak, mixed with the mobility is what's making things work. It's a, designed rollout towards the top of the screen. This is another thing Sean Payton likes to do, and part of why I think he liked Bo Nix is that he feels like Bo Nix is a guy who can run an offense very well, but also can run these types of plays, is mobile enough to make something like this work. Watch as when Nix takes the snap, he runs this play, and due to the way the play concept is designed to work, a receiver is open. It's well schemed, well executed by Denver. The issue is Bo Nix is going to have to make a throw off balance, right? He's running towards his left, having to throw, kind of a bit across his body a little bit. This is not an easy throw to make. It really isn't. However, Nix contorts his body in a way where he's able to still make the grab. They pick up a big completion. Again, it doesn't look like anything fancy, but that's a huge play, right? I mean, it's funny how if you hit someone who's open 20 yards down the field, even if it's not like a difficult throw, everyone still says like, wow, great catch. But if you make one of these plays, which I think is more difficult, everyone says, the receiver ran for 15 of those yards, not really that impressive. No, this is good stuff here by everyone involved here for Denver. I do have one note here, one kind of critique. It was mostly a clean day for Bo Nix. This was kind of my biggest complaint I had of the day, which is going to be, so you see where Max Crosby is. He's off the edge, and watch what happens when this play begins. Crosby's going to make an inside move, gets through really quickly, and to Bo Nix's credit, he reads this very well. He gets over, and he's going to, try and go towards the outside. Really smart play here by Bo Nix to read this. Again, Crosby, yes, quick pressure. So Crosby does. It is what it is. Here's where the critique comes in for Bo Nix. As you see, he kind of almost tries to juke out Max Crosby, and that's just not a decision you can make. And again, these are the learning experiences you have in the NFL. You learn that, hey, not only are guys so much faster and stronger, but then there's guys who are even faster and stronger than those guys, right? And for someone like Max Crosby, you just kind of have to know, at that point, you really have to just run and throw the ball away. You're already outside the pocket. That's what you have to do there. It's a mistake because, again, on a 1st and 20, you're in a tough spot as is, but you're still in field goal range. Just knocks you out of field goal range and basically kills any chance of converting, you would think. So that was a mistake, right? Not the biggest play in the world, not the biggest steal in the world, but a rookie mistake. But yeah, other than that, there's just good stuff. I mean, you had guys winning. This is a 3rd down and 7. Only 18 seconds left and no timeouts for either team. But this over the middle route, we just saw with Kirk Cousins, you can try and, make a play work, try to make a throw down the field work in these types of situations, even if you don't get out of bounds, as long as you move quickly. Nix is going to take the snap, and again, you're just going to see kind of a really, first, good job by him, right? Throwing off balance. That's another thing worth noting. He's moving up in the pocket, having to throw off balance. That's the first aspect here. But also you see, and I know it's a little blurry, sorry, this is the best still frame I could find, but you see that on this one, Troy Franklin is open right here. Nix makes this throw. They pick up enough to get kind of on the outside of field goal range. They did actually hurry up. They got this spike off, and they were then able to hit a field goal. That gave them 3 points right there, which, hey, at the point of the game, I think we now view this game as like, oh yeah, what a blowout. It was tied at this point. That was a huge play to help get 3 points and, kind of make things work. And then there was just a play like this, which this is just a great play. I mean, it's a man coverage concept. It's a one-on-one matchup on the outside. Courtland Sutton is going to be running the route right here. Single safety deep, sure. 3rd and 4, why not? Worst case scenario, you can still kick a field goal, and hey, you're up 27-10 anyway, so might as well go for a big play. Nix is going to take the snap. He looks over and fires in that direction, and it's not really a ton of separation. This is just like, hey, let's see if, he's my number one option. Let's just see if we can make this play work, and watch this throw. Really, right on the money. Sutton makes an incredible catch as well. Again, that's just great stuff by Bo Nix. Bo Nix was making some really good throws out there. Like, it wasn't just, I kind of started this video by saying, well, this thing's schemed open, this is schemed open, kind of having to make throws off balance, but hitting open guys. It wasn't just hitting open guys. We also had this one, which is going to be a man coverage concept that the Raiders are in right here. You have, this is going to be Josh Reynolds, the former Lions receiver, running a route, going from the offense's right to the offense's left. This is actually shortly after that Courtland Sutton play. As you see, Nix is going to run a play action. He looks over and fires in this direction. And again, there is a window, but not a huge one. I mean, this is, I don't want to say it's like a mailbox type throw, but like you have to hit your spot here. If you miss your spot, this is going to be at best incomplete. Like there's no scenario where you kind of miss your spot and still get a touchdown here. However, Nix puts this one right on the money. Reynolds able to make a grab. Got to be careful of the wall there, but really good stuff here by Bo Nix to make something like this work. Again, it's just really, really good stuff here by Bo Nix. These are good throws. So, yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. I think a lot of people are going to kind of discredit this to some degree and say, well, it's just the Raiders. I don't think that that's what you should do. I think it's fair to a little bit do that, of say, hey, Raiders aren't necessarily known for their elite defense this year. Last year it was a lot better. Sure, that's totally reasonable. But again, kind of one thing I always say is you can evaluate quarterbacks even in good or bad situations. You just have to watch the games and can't just look at box scores. And looking at the game, you can clearly see that there were some really good plays by this entire I'm thinking about Sean Payton, by this entire Broncos offense, making things work in just a really effective manner. So yeah, I mean, those are most of my thoughts. Like the Broncos looking like they could be a playoff team perhaps, and a big part of it is Bo Nix. Again, if you want to say he's not a superstar, okay, fine. If part of what I didn't love about him coming out of college and why I was a little bit lower on him than the Saints were, although I still thought he was a first-round talent, was, what's his ceiling? But man, his floor is really high, and he's kind of already reached that. So that's cool to see if you're a Broncos fan. And now, what's his ceiling? Well, I guess we're going to find out. That's what I think about Bo Nix. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from ya. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.